Brendle, and we are going over our February budget. And just to give you an idea of our household, we are a dual income married couple with no children. We do have 2 dogs. Other than that, it's just the 2 of us. So we are going to dive in with our recap of the budget. For our combined income, we brought in $8,152. This is an extra $2,752. We did get a yearly bonus and then some extra hours throughout the month. And in general, we tend to budget lower than we actually think we're going to get. So next we have mortgage. If you saw the February budget, I had anticipated an increase in our mortgage. That did happen. It was more than I thought it would be. So it is actually $1,241. So an extra $11 more than I thought. That happens about once a year. Our mortgage here is also known as PITI, which is the principal, interest, taxes, and insurance all lumped into one. And so the taxes are the ones that increased. The houses around us are selling for much more than we had bought ours for 6 years ago. Yeah. About 5 years ago. It was the end of 2017 is when we bought our house. So we saw the taxes increase there. Our Tacoma minimum is $590, and that's what we paid. All of these other amounts were the same, with phone at $152, life insurance at $38, internet $30, Netflix $10, and Hulu is $2. So our total fixed expenses was $2,063, with again that $11 variance. Next we have sinking funds, which we got an increase in income for this month, and we put a big chunk into our sinking funds and then proceeded to spend it, and you'll kind of see that as we go over the sinking funds. But so we ended up adding $4,566, which is an extra $2,349. Our groceries, we also went over. We spent $736, which is an extra $36. Our sewer and garbage actually was the same. And then for restaurant, we spent only $61. So we had an extra $39 there, which kind of balances out our groceries. So for our variable expenses, we spent a total of $5,442, which is an extra $2,346. And then, oh, I forgot to do this. I need to move these down because I actually have 2 other entries. These stickers are in my Etsy shop. It's Brendle stickers, and they are removable, as you can see. They do kind of curl up depending on how you take them off, but once you lay them back down, they're fine. So we will take up this other one also. So we'll move this down 1 line. So we had savings, investing, and an extra of Matt's CDL permit. He was thinking of getting his Class A CDL for work. He has since changed his mind, but we had already purchased the permit, so we're out that money, but it's, for us, it's not that big of a deal. So for savings, we actually are not contributing to, but we are moving it to investing, and we put $600, and that is in our Roth IRA. And then Matt CDL permit was $47. So for savings, that would put this at $252 extra because we didn't spend it there, and then technically we overspent in investing, which is fine. That's always a good thing. And then Matt CDL was extra. So for our total extras, we have $647, which is an extra $395 that we put there. So that is the overview for our monthly budget. And now, since obviously a big chunk of that is in sinking funds, so we are gonna pop over to here and go over what we decided to actually put into our sinking funds, what we spent, and then our ending. So for our auto insurance, we still did not add anything to that covers our auto insurance for the year. So we didn't spend anything yet, and we have $1,403.77 left. For auto maintenance, we still added $100 and spent $19.99, which is a car wash monthly membership that I want to say February is the last month for it. So now we'll increase to $30, and I'm gonna cancel it. I haven't been using it even to be worth that $20 a month. We have $227.81 for beauty. We still added that $200 and spent $263.41. Let's see, I bought toothbrush heads from Costco, and then I bought mascara from Costco. They had a 3-pack for like less than half what you would spend at the store. And then I bought some Coach perfume. I had a couple eyebrow appointments. I bought some moisturizer, just kind of a bunch of stuff that added up. There is $26.87 remaining. For card tabs, we didn't add or spend anything, so we still have that $236.79. For clothes, we added $100 each, and I spent $68.77. I bought a sweater and a couple t-shirts, so I still have $181.77. And then Matt spent $15.89 on some swim trunks, so he has $90.04. Next we have Costco. We didn't add anything to. That is for our yearly membership, and it's not until September, October, so, or no, that was Amazon. This ends at the end of the year. We usually get our rebate around October or so and use that towards our membership. So we have $120.14 left. Next we have dogs. We added $100 and we actually spent $125.83. We got some dry dog food like we normally do, and then we have a Chewy membership every few months, and that has wet dog food that we mix in with them occasionally. And then we got some toys with that and treats and stuff, so that added up to that. We still have $263.67. Next we have electric, and we actually had to add to this. So normally I try to average this out, but last year the average ended up being 95, but I was only adding 90. So for the year, that extra $5 added up to about $60 that should have been in the account, but we're just kind of adding as we need it now, and we're gonna keep it at 95, or we might bump it up to 100 just to kind of anticipate the increase of prices. So we ended up adding 133 because the bill was 141.32, and then our 897 that we had plus 133 minus 141.32 leaves us with 65 cents in there, which in March I think we're also going to have to add a little extra. Even though I literally just went over our March budget, it's just kind of the way it goes. For entertainment, we still added 100 and spent 102.03. Nope, 102.08. And that leaves 819. I had dinner with a friend, breakfast with a different friend, and then I did an escape room with some people from work, so that was super fun. For fitness, this is where a big chunk went. So we added $1,368. Matt and I have been thinking about getting another gym membership, but we wanted it to be closer than Planet Fitness because it's just easier. We like to work out in the morning before work, and we were looking into some gyms close to us, but they had 1-year contracts, and they would have been over $1,500 for the year for both of us to go. And so we were kind of like, well, we could invest that into equipment ourselves and just have our gym in the garage and kind of do it ourselves. So we started looking into that, and then Matt's brother said he could build us a squat rack because he works at a company that does welding and machine work. So he was able to build that for us, and then to get a weight set with a barbell and collars. And we have 245s, 225s, 210s, and I think 235s. I don't know, Matt was kind of part of that, but we have a decent amount of weights to go on the barbell. And then we also bought a gym mat to put on the floor, so we're not just walking on the concrete. And then we bought a couple containers of protein, and Matt wanted pre-workout. So all of that came out to $1,455.08. So we have a remaining $68.84 in the fitness and health category. And then furniture, I know we've been talking about getting a couch, but at this point we're kind of going to put it off until the summertime. So we took out some of this money to help fund that fitness. So we took out $520 from there. So instead of adding, we took out that. So that leaves $345.65 remaining. And then for gas, we still added the $250. We did spend a little bit more than we have, but still under that $250. So we spent $212.68, which was $224.52 remaining. Next, for Christmas, we didn't add anything, we didn't spend anything, and so we still have the $2,030.19. For gifts, we still added the $50 and spent $144.11. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law are having a baby, so we bought a baby shower gifts, and then there was our Valentine's flowers and cards. So we have a remaining $195. We don't really do gifts for on Valentine's Day, but we do exchange cards and go out to breakfast. Breakfast came out of our restaurant category though. For home extras, we still added 100 and then spent $56.41. We bought a new planter for one of our plants, like a pot, and then we got a new flag for outside of our garage. So we have 168.83 remaining. Next we have home improvement, which we ended up adding 920, and we did this so that we could buy a 6x5 outside shed so that we can put like the lawnmower, the weed eater, camping chairs, the leaf blower, just kind of all of that random outside stuff. Take it from the garage and put it in there. So that was $720.79, which leaves $962.88. So what we did here was we were already going to put 200, and then we just added another 720 to compensate for that, pretty much that amount, so that we're still contributing for our fence that we need. Next we have hunting. So we had to add a little bit extra, so we added 213, or Matt spent $227.56. He ended up getting a tripod and a holster, so those added up to that, and that leaves 74 cents in the hunting category. Next we have medical. We still added 50. We didn't spend anything, so we have $568.50 left. Next we have office supplies and books, and we still added 100 and spent $39.28. I bought a planner pocket so that I could, kind of like how this one has a pocket in the back, so that I can put like a couple sticker sheets in there for using in my planner. That and the HP Instant Ink. It actually technically hasn't come out yet. It should have went out in February, but we are a few days into March, and I think it will be here soon, but so I just kept it in the account so that it came out of February's budget, and so it's just sitting there ready for when the charge comes through. So then we have $63.44 remaining. For outdoors, we still added 100 and spent $66.99. We bought our invasive species stickers for our kayaks, and I bought this new hammock style camping chair that I'm super excited. I've seen it last year and the year before, honestly, at games that I go to. That leaves $133.01. And then for technology, this is where my new camera came out of. So we ended up adding $895. I don't know really what happened to the GoPro. It just isn't registering that there's a battery in there. None of the memory cards are working. So I finally just got a new camera and decided on a Sony ZV-E10, which was around $840. It came with like in a bundle with a lens and a bag and everything. And I got a new memory card. The Cricut subscription also came out, and Canva subscription. Overall, it was $971.66, which leaves $397.12. Next we have vacation. We added $185, and this is another one that we spent a decent amount. I took a trip with my sister to a podcast show called The Deck with Ashley Flowers. It was in Seattle, and it was so good, so worth it. But we also stayed a few days in Seattle and kind of did a little touristy stuff, and that was around $500 or so. And then we also had prepaid for a Airbnb with my brother and his sister-in-law for June, so that was around $500 also. So we ended up spending $1,087.66, which leaves $273.10. So the big chunk for our June trip was that Airbnb we're close enough to drive, so we still have gas, but it shouldn't be too bad. And then like food and stuff, that will also be another big category, but we'll have to add some of that in the next few months. And we added $22 to our water bill, and we paid that, which was $52, which leaves a remaining $482. This is a quarterly bill, so we won't have it again for a little bit. So what we actually put in, if you add all of this up, subtract out that $520, add all this, so all that adds up to $4,566. And then we spent out of our sinking funds $5,771.51, which leaves $7,902.39 left. And that is a separate account from our regular like checking account. So that is kind of a recap from everything we spent. It was definitely a high spend month, but we had the income to accommodate that, and that's why we ended up spending that money. If we didn't have the extra income, then we wouldn't have bought the gym equipment right now or paid for the Airbnb that we have in June. What else? Oh, the shed. We wouldn't have bought the shed. Like these things we wouldn't have bought if we didn't have the extra money. We would have had to wait and figure it out. Or instead of putting the gym in our garage, we may have had to get a gym membership, which is totally fine. But we were able to do that without interrupting our savings. We have a few months worth of savings, so that's why we weren't too worried about adding it to savings, and we are wanting to focus more on our retirement. So we did add that $600 and we feel good about it. Next, we have our debt review, and this is kind of the last thing we have. So we have two debts technically. We have the Tacoma, and then we have our mortgage. So I don't track our mortgage on here. We just do that Tacoma. So the starting balance for February was $35,247.12. The minimum is $590. We did not add any extra payments, so we had interest of $95.25, and that leaves an ending of $34,752 and 37 cents. That's kind of hard to write on that coil. Left for the balance on the Tacoma. So since we only have that one listed, the totals will kind of be the same. $35,247.12. Minimum, we have our $590 and interest $95.25, with the ending being $34,752.37. Okay, so I have these two different progresses out I do. I do the monthly progress, so I look at the starting balance, which is this amount of $35,247.12. And then this month's ending will be this number over here. So we have $34,752.37. And then when you subtract them, that comes out to $494.75, which is the amount that actually went to the principal. And then I take this $494.75 and divide it by the starting balance and convert it to a percent, and it is 1.40%, 1.4%. That we reduce down the starting balance for the month. And then I like to look at the overall balance also. So the beginning balance when we bought this last June was $38,758.70 that we took a loan for. This month's ending is $34,752.37. So that's that amount there again. And I subtract them to kind of see where we are so far at paying it off. So we have paid off $4,006.33. And then I take this $4,000 amount divided by the 38,000 and convert it to a percent, and that means we've paid off 10.34% of our loan. And so far we've only added the minimum. So we've been paying, I think our first payment was in July. So July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. So 8 months that we've made payments, and we've dropped it down 10%, which is super nice. And that is a recap of our February spending and tracking. And I'm so happy you followed along this month, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions, any just comments or statements you want to leave for me. That would be awesome. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I will see you next time.